All right, guys, I'm back. It's June 24th, and I got four players that I absolutely love for us to incorporate in some player props. But before we do, you know what we got to do? We got to recap yesterday. Bang, there you go, baby. A nice little sweep right there, baby. Jose Ramirez. First at bat, knocks a little single between the third baseman and the shortstop. It was so awesome. And then on the second at bat, he said, so fun. Let me do it again. He hit another single. You got to love it. Now, Lane Thomas, different story. I mean, he gets it done for us, but I had to wait for the ninth inning. Thanks a lot, man. I had a nice white shirt on, and I don't know if the stains in the armpits are going to come out because you maybe sweat it out, baby, but I'll take it. Little mini sweep there, two players on our Tier 2 plays hitting at 83% hit rate. All right, recapping the season on our Tier 1 plays of the 113 batters that I suggest on the channel just to record a hit, 94 of them we correctly selected and only missed on 19 for an 83% hit rate. All right, consider tipping. And I want any money. Do you see any money in that jar right there? No, you do not. You see subscribe and like. That's all I ever want from you guys, okay? A comment would be nice too, and if it's too much for you to, use any brain cells or anything like that, I don't need you to write anything that means anything. Just start slapping the keyboard and stuff. Close your eyes and start picking spots, man, and see what you can create. I don't know. Like I said, hit the subscribe button, baby. And if you haven't subscribed already, what the hell are you waiting for? I can't hold my breath much longer. All right, let's get to these plays that I absolutely love for today. All right, I got four plays. Two of them are Tier 1, hitting at 83%. Let's get to the first one right here. Jerkson Profar versus Patrick Corbin. We knew that Corbin's pitch usage percentage, he loves that sinker to the tune of about 38% of the time on the season, and it's the worst command he has of all of his pitches. He gives it up at a .336 batting average. What does Profar do against a sinker all season long? Just crush it at a .333 rate. Absolutely love it. Moving on to the second pitch, 24% of the time he throws the slider. He gives it up at a .250 batting average. Not horrible, not great either, okay? Profar, a .222 batting average, a little light, but, I think it'll be just fine. Moving on to the third pitch, 19% of the time, the cutter, giving it up at a .273 rate, not very good. Profar, a .400 rate on the season versus the cutter. And then the third pitch, 10%, the four-seam fastball, giving it up at a .308 average. .308 batting average, Profar, .303 hitting the four-seam fastball. And then you can't stop there. He's got to have a fifth pitch. Can't fit it on the screen. So under the balls right there, it says a changeup. He throws 6% of the time. Maybe he shouldn't throw it at all because he's giving it up at a .368 batting average. Actually, that's the worst one of all the pitches right there. Profar, give him some of the changeup. If you're smart, you wouldn't, because he's crushing the changeup at a .583 batting average all season long. Ballpark Pal has this list as an extreme advantage for Profar. He represents the worst 6th percentile possible matchups for Patrick Corbin. When you look at Profar, I mean, Mr. Consistency, at least recorded at least one hit in 42 of his last 53 games. He's got a .467 batting average versus left-handed pitchers in the last 14 days. His barrel rate's a little light. His ISO rate is elite. So what that tells me is he's a low home run threat because, like I said, the barrel rate's too low. Now, again, talk about barrel rate. Barrel rate is the measure by which, when you strike the ball, it leaves the bat at a 25 degrees to 35 degree launch angle in conjunction with a 95 mile per hour exit velocity. If you can hit that, called a barrel, you're gold when it comes to hitting home runs. Okay, so his barrel rate's a little low, so I'm going to say we're going to back off of him. Low home run threat. His ISO rate is the measurement of power, the extra base hits potential. Like I said, that's elite. So he still has the power for extra bases. So if you're that kind of player that, hey, I don't like the parlay, I like to play over 1.5 total bases or something like that, or hits, runs, RBIs, or what have you. Maybe you want to take a stab at, I'm going to play him for a single. I'm going to play him for a double. Some of them odds are pretty nice, but, it's harder to hit. Okay. I think that all that's in play, right? I think he's going to get a hit. And the baseline prediction is just that, for him to at least record a hit. Next up, another Tier 1, Brian Reynolds. Oh, welcome to the channel. You're making your debut. Oh, don't let us down. Let me just tell you, a lot of the players that made their debut, a lot of them hit home runs. But I'm not saying I need you to do that. Like I said, just record a hit. Let's get right to it. I think he does have the potential to hit a home run, but like I said, let's get right to it. Brian Reynolds versus Carson Spears. When you look at Spears' pitch usage percentage, he loves the four-seam fastball to the tune of 36% of the time on the season. What are you doing? It's one of your worst pitches in terms of you can't command it very well. A 316 batting average given up. And what does Reynolds do all season against the four-seam fastball? Crushes it at a 368 rate. The second pitch, 23% of the time, the changeup, giving that almost up at a 300 batting average. Reynolds, well, you can't be perfect. The 258 rate, it's not horrible, but, I like to be a little higher, but, that's all right. The third pitch, 19% of the time, the cutter. Spears commanding that relatively well, a 167 batting average. So there you go. Reynolds says, throw him some cutter. I love the battle of this pitch because I crush it at a 357 rate. The fourth pitch, 18% of the time, a 364 batting average given up. Horrible. The sweeper, and Reynolds, a pretty solid 286 rate, hitting the sweeper all season long. Ballpark Pal has listed as an extreme advantage for Reynolds. He represents the worst 8 percentile possible matchups for Spears. Reynolds is hot. He's recorded at least one hit in 20 of his last 20 games. Oh, he's hot as heck, man. A 381 batting average in the last 14 days. A barrel rate of 19.5%. Elite. ISO rate of 40.5. Elite. Do you think he's a home run threat? Of course he is with numbers like that. He's making his debut. I remember a couple guys, one off the top of my head, Isaac Paredes, he was debuting on the channel, and he crushed a home run in his first at-bat for us. So, I don't know, a little pressure there. Like I said, the baseline prediction is just to record a hit. But if you're the kind of player, like I said, like over 1.5 bases or whatever, those straight bets, I do think that that type of bet is in play. So there you go. Like I said, baseline prediction, just to record a hit. Probably will parlay him with Profar, potentially. We'll see what the odds are. I have these plays. These are the best of the best, okay, that I find. I don't know what the lines makers are going to, put out the next day for lines. I know, today was a little tough because, Thomas was minus 400. It was unbelievable. So when you parlayed him with anybody else, it was tough. The odds were a little steep, but I don't think we're going to have that much of a problem today. Plus, I got four plays total, 2 more. Let's get right to it. Like I said, this one, baseline prediction, just to record a hit. All right, before we get into it, I just want to say we hit a record number of subscribers in one day. Well, no, second place. The first one was absolutely amazing. This one was over 100 subscribers today. Absolutely amazing. So a lot of you guys don't know. So let's just back up the truck a little bit and show you how we've hit these tier 2 plays. The next 2 plays are tier 2. So of the last 197 batters that I suggested on the channel just to record a hit, we hit 146 of them correctly and missed on only 51 for a 74% hit rate, baby. All right, the first tier 2 play, Alec B versus Casey Mize. When you look at Mize's pitch usage percentage, 39% of the time, he loves throwing that four-seam fastball. He doesn't command it very well. A 286 batting average given up. Bohm says, let me see some of that four-seam, baby, because I hit it at a 346 rate on the season. Second pitch, 34% to slider. Oh, it's getting worse for you. A 341 batting average given up. Absolutely horrible. And what does Bohm do? He mirrors that. He hits it at a 341 rate on the season. So that's a good pitch right there. I hope we see a lot of it. The third, the sinker, 13% of the time. A 320 batting average giving up. Absolutely horrible. Boom, a 283. Pretty solid rate hitting the sinker. And then maybe, just maybe, you don't want to throw this 10% one here, the split finger fastball, because you're giving it up at a 556. That reminds me of yesterday, Freeland versus Thomas. Unbelievable. I think it's the same rate. That was his number 1 pitch, though. But here you go, 10%. He gives that. You shouldn't even want to throw that one. And if you do, absolutely amazing. Boom, crushes it at a 333 rate. Ballpark Pal, this is as an extreme advantage for Bohm. Represents the worst 2 percentile possible matchups for Casey Mize. Bohm is at least 1 hit in 8 of his last 9 games. Okay, a real small window, but he's really hot right now. A 438 batting average versus right-handed pitchers in the last 14 days. Barrel rate's a little low. ISO rate's a little low. So that means low home run threat, meaning I'm not going to touch him. I didn't change the slide there. It says has the power for extra bases. I don't think so. I mean, he probably could hit a double. He could hit multiple hits, So the over 1.5 total bases, I'd stay away from it. I'd use this one only as the baseline prediction just to record a hit. All right, the last matchup, again, a tier 2 play. You got Seiya Suzuki versus Spencer Howard. And you look at Howard's pitch usage percentage, he only uses 2 pitches, and it's really interesting, man. Four-seam fastball, he throws 52% of the time. He gives it up at a 476 rate. You stink. Okay, put it that way. Let's be nice, okay? You don't have to be mean all the time. A 279 batting average for Seiya Suzuki, hitting the four-seam fastball all season long. Now his second pitch, the slider, 43% of the time. A 400 rate. Oh, my God. I love this opportunity for Suzuki. A 324 batting average versus the slider. And then there's 5% of 2 other pitches, which she basically has 1 plate appearance for both of them. So they're insignificant, at least for us to consider, unless something changes. So he's got 2 pitches to decipher coming at him. The pitcher doesn't throw him very well. You might be like, why is it a tier 2? As Howard is a limited history to go by, so these numbers are a real small sample size, so that's why I kind of backed off. Not a tier 1. It might look like it's knock your socks off. This is an amazing opportunity, and hopefully it is when it's all said and done. You're like, oh, geez, like did I hit an amazing day? Why do you put it as a tier 2? We'll see. Ballpark Pale has listed as an extreme advantage for Suzuki. He represents the worst 4 percentile of possible matchups for Howard. Another reason why Suzuki, he's recorded at least 1 hit in 19 of his last 26 games. But if you come in with a smaller window, you'll see that he's been a little inconsistent in the last, 7 to 10 days. But I think this is a great opportunity for him to get back on track. A 286 batting average against the last 14 days versus right-handed pitchers. Barrel rate's a little low at 9.7. ISO rate's a little low, 11.4. Low home run threat. We're not going to play him for a home run threat. We're not going to play him for a home run. We're not going to play him for over 1.5 total bases. I mean, you can if you will, but I'm not recommending it. I'm just recommending the baseline prediction just to record a hit. I just want to say that's it. 4 plays, so we hopefully have a lot of opportunities to do whatever you want with all these. I just want to say I absolutely love every single one of you guys, man. I just started this YouTube channel, a year ago or whatever. And it just blossomed into something I could not even imagine. I just said, let's try this out. Low expectations, and like you guys are just unbelievable. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are freaking awesome, man. Putting up with all the crap that I say and all that stuff. But I hope that, I know we've been doing absolutely amazing. That's the reason why you're here, because, you can utilize this information. It's great. And unfortunately, you have to listen to me, maybe as a better person that could deliver it more in a more pleasant way, but maybe not. But there you go. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I know you're resistant. I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't know what it is. I don't want to give him a subscription. I don't know what. Just hit it already. Trust me. If you hit it, you're gonna feel really good about yourself. All right, let's just leave it there. To talk to you guys tomorrow.